In our previous videos, we set up a simple gear train where the gears were both the same size. So when we took a look at it and we animated them, we used the gear relationship, and we got two gears that spun opposite of each other, counterclockwise versus clockwise in that relationship. In this series of videos, we're going to show you how to create a gear that is smaller, in essence, half the diameter. And what we're going to do and show you how to do is animate this with a different relationship on that. So what we can see here is the small gear is actually spinning 2 times as fast as the large gear in this circumstance. The reason being is the diameter is half that here. And then ultimately we'll show how to put the 3 gears together in a simple gear train with an idler, where you can see in this example the drive gear, which is this first gear, spinning counterclockwise at the same rate as the driven gear here. So they're traveling the same speed counterclockwise, but we have that idler in the middle with that gear relationship spinning clockwise at twice the speed of the outside gears. So the first part of doing this, we're going to create another gear. We're going to create this smaller gear. In Part Studio 1, in the previous videos, we created that bearing, which we're going to use again, and we created this gear here. If you haven't made this gear yet, please check out that video on how to make this gear. But I'm going to open up a new Part Studio on this one. I'm going to create Part Studio, and I'm going to lay my sketch down on the top here. I'm going to orientate myself to the top. The previous gear that we created was a 5-inch diameter, so I'm going to go to the center point here, and I'm going to create a 2.5-inch diameter gear. Now the next thing I'm going to do is the teeth on my previous gear were 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to come up here and draw a circle at that intersection point, just like I did on the previous one, at 1/4 of an inch. I'm now going to grab my arc tool, and from here to here, on the previous gear my radius was a 0.19, and I'm going to grab my line tool and change it to a construction line, and I'm going to go vertical here. It doesn't matter the length of this line because I'm just going to use it to mirror. So I'm going to choose here my mirror. The line that I'm going to mirror across is that construction line I just built, and I'm going to mirror my circle and my arc here. So we can see we have that arc that's mirrored across there. So now I want to pattern this. So I'm going to come up here and I'm come to my circular pattern, and I'm going to select my circle and my lines that I just created. I'm going to zoom out, and the default is 3, and I can left click on this to lay it down, but then I'm going to double click here, and if my previous gear was 40 teeth, this one I want to set to 20 teeth. So what you can see now is I have that, so I'm going to extrude this. I want to extrude not the outside, I want to extrude the inside, and I'm going to take that outside off. And I'm going to extrude this 1/4 of an inch, or 0.25 inches. So what we can see now is we have that gear taking shape. So again, I'm going to lay my sketch down on the gear face this time, and I'm going to make a 1/2 inch circle, and from there as well I'm going to make a 1.75 inch circle. And just to give that cutout there, I'm going to do an extrusion with a removal, and I'm going to remove 0.1 inches.